Another thing that stands out from commenting on the Dutch election is just how many people have no idea what the term far right actually means, or where things like fascism and Nazism fall. I get a bunch of people popping on there saying, but the fascists and the Nazis were leftists and socialists, which is just fucking dumb. Like, really, how do you get out of high school with these kind of attitudes? I just don't get it. So, here's a short primer, right? Was Mussolini a leftist? Well, originally, he started as a syndicalist, but he rejected it because syndicalism is a form of socialism, and socialism is based in class consciousness and internationalism, cosmopolitanism. It is inherently anti-nationalist, and Mussolini wanted to be a nationalist. This is true also for, Mustache Man over here. So, Kershaw points out that he was not a socialist. Fest says not a socialist. Evans says not a socialist. Everyone says not a socialist. In both cases, for the Italian fascists and the German NSDAP, the first victims were socialists of the black shirt and brown shirt militias, beating people up, killing people in the streets. And then once you got, concentration camps together, the first people going into them were, leftists, socialists, because both of these movements, fascism and Nazism, are based on a radical rejection of the core tenets of socialism. Again, class consciousness, internationalism. These are nationalist movements. So the core, the very core of what far right means as a term is radical nationalism. You're focused on a particular group of people. And then outside of that, you can closely related, nativism, the sense of attacking immigrants, supposed outsiders, people who seem different from the national group. Whether they've been there for a long time or they're just coming in. Nativism is a significant feature here. And then you have other features tied into it, like reactionary politics. So a rejection of, any kind of... so here's the difference between reactionary and conservatism in a nutshell. If you're thinking about decline, if you're talking about degeneracy and things like that, you're not really talking about conservatism, even if there are superficial similarities there, because you're saying that you need a kind of radical regeneration of the people, that there's something wrong, that you have to kind of go back a stage. So these movements are all reactionary. So nationalist, nativist, reactionary. What else have you got? Well, there's a kind of leadership principle that goes in there. They're relatively authoritarian. They want a kind of strong figurehead figure on top there, and they're always talking about the common man, the left behind, the ordinary people, so they're populist. But populism and socialism are very different things. They're not the same. There's an inherent difference here, and the key to all of this is the distinction between nationalism and internationalism. Socialism is an internationalist perspective that calls for class-based identity, your relation to the means of production, and then solidarity across any little invisible national lines, country lines, whatever, to bring people together in order to fight for a better future. Nationalism wants the best for a particular group of people. So if you're saying America first or Netherlands first, that's nationalism, and that's what we mean by the far right. So hopefully this helps a little bit, because I know this is so super confusing for a lot of people, but it really shouldn't be. Did NSDAP have socialist in their name? But so does North Korea have democratic in its name. It's just a con. The Nazis were competing with the communists for the same group of people, working class voters, and then pitching things to them in a different way. So they're co-opting the term. If you read what they actually mean by it, how they defined socialism, it is different from every single fucking dictionary out there. The meaning of socialism has always been the same, and fascism and Nazism have always been far right. So, here's your little PSA for the day. Peace out, y'all.